Welcome in, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Got everybody here. What's happening, gentlemen?
Tell you what's happening. After yesterday's show, I told my wife we're going to Walmart and I'm buying a go-kart. Jay's going to learn how to drive. Yeah.
There you go. How about that?
I mean, okay. I mean, don't get me
wrong. Hyped up the other day, Bo. We were talking about, say, is it too late to learn how to do NASCAR? Maybe I can go get a go-kart now and start practicing.
Well, I mean, you probably don't need to start at go-karts. You can probably, get into some lower level stuff that is full-size cars.
Yeah. I wonder if I got pulled over by a cop on the highway and he pulled me and said, "Sir, do you know how fast you are?" I said, "Yeah, I do. Do you know how fast I was going?" Because I'm trying to learn how to be a NASCAR driver, and I figured what better way to learn than here.
Yeah, they actually don't find that stuff entertaining at all.
No, probably not. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
But when you're working on a budget, Bo, it's budget racing, budget learning.
Your budget would get blown by the tickets that you would get from that.
That is true.
Yeah, it's
that is true.
Yeah, no, cops don't think that's funny at all. When I had my NASCAR license, I had a cop see that in my wallet, and he's like, "Oh, wow. So you definitely know better." And it's like,
You should have said what? It's a hard difference between the gas pedal on a race car and the gas pedal on a personal car. Sometimes I get them confused. They probably gonna find that funny at all.
Yeah, they have zero sense of humor when it comes to that.
Right. That's what I think.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. But I happened to play witness last night to something that has not happened since 1971.
Really?
Okay.
The Phillies had a walk-off catcher's interference.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird. I mean, first off, the bases were loaded. There was no outs. It's likely that we would have won the game anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I think the catcher was just like, you know what? I'm going to take this one for the team.
That's right. Let's go home.
1971 was the last time there was a walk-off catcher's interference.
Okay.
So just when you think you've seen everything in baseball, you haven't. They've seen it before.
So I didn't get to see that game, but I did hear about that play, but I didn't get to see it. So what exactly happened? I mean, was he just sitting in the baseline
No. I think the glove interfered with the swing.
Yeah, he reached forward to get the ball, and the bat hit the backside of his glove.
So, and it was like, initially it wasn't called, and then they went to the review, and the review said, confirmed that he did hit the back of the glove, game over.
Mm-hmm.
Run scores, game over. So you got an RBI catcher's interference.
Jeez.
That's almost as bad as the AA game from Sunday where it was a walk-off pitch clock violation.
Oh, that would suck.
That's rough.
Yeah, that really does. That's an oucher. Because
bases loaded 2 outs. It was a full count, and I don't know if the pitcher was like trying to figure out what pitch he wanted to throw, but he didn't even have a chance to throw his full count pitch because they pitch clocked himself out.
Yeah, see that sucks. Like that's catcher's interference. You're trying to go up and get the ball. That can happen. A pitch clock thing, that's brutal.
Yeah, especially like at full count. It's like, hey, game is on the line here. I guess he didn't have any more timeouts because they probably used them already.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
you gotta imagine if you're the manager of that pitcher and he comes in, you're like, dude, what were you thinking, man? There's a big ass clock out there. You see it counting down. Throw the damn ball. Figure it out.
Well, I mean, the thing is you can't not throw a strike, right? Because it's full count. It'd be a walk-off walk at that point.
Right.
If you throw a meatball, similar thing. So, I mean, you want to get your pitch right, but I mean, at the same time, if you're running out of time, yeah, you just got to rifle one down there and hope for the best.
Right, because I mean that's like you didn't even do anything at all. I mean, at least if you throw it down the middle, and even if he does make contact, maybe he doesn't get all the way out the park. I mean, any number of things could go your way, but if you don't even throw the damn ball, well, then you automatically are just giving it up to him.
Yeah, I mean, when in doubt, just throw the heater and hope.
Right.
I mean, damn.
And
Yeah,
have a tenor and give it a shot. Hey, listen, you never know. I mean, baseball's a tough game. You got to still hit the ball.
Yep.
And you pop it up, game, goes into the next inning.
Exactly.
You ground ball, ball goes to the next inning. You know what I mean? It's just like there's so many ways that could have ended.
I have a hard time with that though, because not what you just said, but just him not throwing the ball. I have a hard because I don't want to say you get 20 damn seconds. The ball comes back, you got 20 whole seconds to think about.
18
or 8, okay, even 18 seconds. I mean, come on, man.
But it's not really 18 because they start it right away.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, you got the first 8 seconds of the guy getting himself together, and then you got 10 seconds after that to throw the pitch.
Exactly.
Or at least start the windup
Right.
of throwing the pitch. You could sit there for a second after the windup, because once you start the windup, the clock ends. So you could start the windup and sit there for as long as you want before you throw the pitch.
Right.
Because the clock's off at that point.
Yep.
So realistically, you got to get to that proportion. If you're not sure what to throw, I mean, I guess you're playing with the ball in the glove, and that's a no-no too, I got to imagine. But at that point, you're like, and then throw the pitch because the clock's off.
Yeah.
So, and you have plenty of time to do that. He'll learn
No,
that.
I just think that's a silly mistake to make at that level, but I'm sure he'll learn that for next time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just no situational awareness is really what that is. Because, I mean, it's not like guys haven't had pitch clock violations during the season anyway. But,
Right.
I mean, that's just not paying attention.
And especially like the situation he was in where the pitch clock violation cost him the game. I mean, that's pretty, you would think your situational awareness because of the situation, that should be really maximum thinking about. And it's not like they don't have scatter reports. It's not like they don't know, okay, this guy, his hot spots are here, here, and here. So if I am going to throw it here, maybe it'll be a curve or something. It looks like it's something where I don't know. I mean, it's not like they don't have enough information about the guy that's coming up to the plate that they should have an idea of what they're going to throw in certain things, right? I mean,
so the other thing is that pitchers could actually, like, they haven't started to do this yet, and I'm surprised that nobody's really picked up on it yet. That you could be ready to go already. Like, all right, they throw the ball back to you, you're ready to go. The moment that the pitcher is looking at you, you start to wind up and pitch. Like, the communication between the pitcher and catcher could happen right afterwards. Like, hey, we're gonna go fastball on this guy right away. So literally, he sets up, bam, throw the ball. Like, and
Yeah.
like, you could speed pitch, and I'm surprised they don't speed pitch because these batters are taking their sweet old time, and then they're kind of getting themselves ready as the pitcher's trying to figure out what pitch to throw. If you were there right at the 8-second mark, because they have that up until that 8-second mark to get ready, you could throw it at pitch at 7 seconds left. So if you were doing that, you would be able to probably get a lot more strikeouts because these batters aren't ready. So now they're hurrying up to get ready.
That totally makes that makes sense.
And now you can speed up. You can just speed up their entire process, which is what I think.
Joe, we're talking about two different instances. So in the Phillies game, it was a catcher's interference.
Right. And it was.
Absolutely it was. Yeah.
Can't hit the catcher's mitt with the bat when you're trying to swing.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the speed pitching thing makes a lot of sense strategically because just as much as you're trying to figure out what to throw, they're trying to figure out what they're gonna hit. So I mean, if you catch them, like you said, Pags, if you catch them while they're in that mode of thinking, that batter's thinking of what might be coming his way, yeah, you can catch them totally off guard and keep them out of sync and not let them dial in. Yeah, that makes I mean, that I get that.
Mm-hmm. You know, the way that they would have to slow him down is that every batter is allowed to take a timeout, so you can do the timeout the one time.
Yep.
Right.
But there again, even after that timeout, as he goes to get back into the box, like, you got a speed pitch. Now, if he's in the box at 12 seconds, you still have to wait to 8 seconds before you can throw the pitch.
Yeah.
So you can't speed up too fast.
Yeah.
Can't be at 9 seconds and try to throw that pitch even though the batter's ready, because that becomes an automatic ball.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm surprised that there's pitchers that haven't done that yet. Ranger Suarez would be that, like, the first guy that I would think could be possible to do that, because he's a quick pitcher. He's very fast and was always very fast before even the time clock.
Well, and then of course you add the fact that their communication is now with the mic. They don't have to do hand signals or anything. I mean, yeah, to your point, like, it could be all worked out by the time he has the ball back in his hand. So the fact that people don't do it, they drag it to the very end. I mean, that's just another timing thing that they get a dial in on. Like, you might, if nothing else, mix it up, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes early in the count, or early on the clock, sometimes late in the clock. You know, get them out of balance,
especially in the later innings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where, so the problem, I feel like that the reason why these pitchers are taking every bit of time is because they aren't as confident in their pitches to be able to pitch faster.
Yeah, maybe.
But they should. You really should. Especially, like, you get the first 2 batters on as a closer, I would start to quick pitch.
Sure.
Like, literally, you're pitching from the stretch anyways.
That's right. No
Down,
huddle. Let's go.
Set, go. Down, set,
quick pitch.
go.
Yep. That's right. Everybody on the line. No huddle. Let's get this going.
So, but at least it would give you the opportunity. It would give you a slight advantage, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Absolutely.
So, I got something I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. I have been seeing a number of different videos of this guy, and I am beginning to believe, and I wanted to just hear what you guys had to say, that Jazz Chisholm is the biggest bitch in baseball.
Tell us how you really feel.
What? I haven't seen whatever the video is. So what?
So there's been a couple of videos lately. Like, they were, he was bapping off to the dugout, and the pitching coach, or the batting coach, I think it was the pitching coach,
Let's call that.
who's like 70 some years old, is bapping back. So Jazz started the bapping. The pitching coach starts to bat back.
Sure.
And Jazz can't stand it, can't deal with it. And then he's doing whatever. And then there's a signal that's like, hey, we'll throw at your head or something like that. At least that's what the video kind of alluded to. That he's pointing to his head and it's like, yeah, we'll throw at your freaking head. That's, that will teach you how to not be a bitch. Because that's what I felt like was happening. And then what made him the bitch? At that point, he wasn't a bitch. He wasn't a bitch up until he went back into the dugout and he went to go cry to the captain about him being a bitch. Yeah, and how big of a bitch he was.
So
then
was it the coach that was saying we'll hit you in the head?
It was just alluded. They were pointing to the helmet. Like, it was like the neck and then the helmet and then the neck and then the helmet. And it was like, it's just like, whatever. And then there's a whole nother video with him crying to the ump about something. Because he got a strike called on him because he wasn't setting the box on time. It's like,
well, if you're not in there, right?
You got to be setting in the box on time. Stop crying.
That's no different
Stop
than the
crying.
pitcher.
You're a little bitch is what you are, Jazz. You're a little bitch that plays on the Yankees that makes you think that you're all big and bad. Truth of the matter is you're a little bitch. And I can't wait till people start plugging you because you are a little bitch.
Yeah, I mean that's no different than a pitcher missing the clock, right? Like you're missing the clock. You're missing the clock, whether you're the batter or the pitcher.
I'm just saying we were trying to get monetized here. Can we just say
right?
he's a sissy. He's such a sissy boy. I'm just okay.
That's right. You guys are fucking killing me right now.
No, but I do agree with you about Chad. I've seen this guy a few times. He is very,
whiny. He's a little whiny.
And then it kind of sucked it up at the home run derby. So it wasn't like he's really even all that great to be.
Right, exactly. What are you doing in the home run derby? You don't have the power like that.
No, well, you got to have the one guy that's just like the early exit. In case, it gets stale, they got to be like, oh, yeah, but this guy.
Make him go first then, not last.
Well,
get him out of the way.
Don't bring. Okay, we're gonna give the jism. The last swings. Yeah, let's jizz all over this home run derby is what we're doing.
Oh no, wait. Hey, hold on. There is a meme. There's a meme out there on Facebook where it has, it's the scene from Willie Mays Hayes in Major League. Where I remember Willie Mays in there and he goes up and they have these push-ups. They took off all their faces and put on Chaz Chisholm as a batter, and everybody.
I mean, they could have used a spot from the same film just a little bit later, and they're like, maybe he's just pointing at the left fielder.
When I saw that meme, I've never laughed so hard. It made me laugh. But anyway.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know.
Scott, it was 53 years ago. It was 53 years ago the last time that happened. I wasn't even born yet. Was not even born yet.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, since Scott's here, I'll answer one of his questions from yesterday because we never got away from racing. He asked about the WNBA and them not playing defense. It was the All-Star game. What All-Star game plays defense anymore? Like even pretends to. So it wasn't really a shock that they didn't play any defense in that game.
How many me-bounds were there?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to that. The thing that's
those
funny,
shirts have been flying off the shelf.
Actually, they have sold a lot of them, weirdly. But the one thing I will credit her with is, as of late, her gameplay has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, it has.
She's not getting, hardly any me bounds.
Because somebody taught her how to use the box to back it off the backboard to make a layup.
Pretty much.
And that's you know what that's called good coaching.
Well, and she's kind of gone back to her old roots because she came into college as a point guard. So now she's actually stepping out to the perimeter, knocking down 3-pointers and actually like hitting actual jump shots. She's not just like trying to get layups inside.
Yeah, her average during a game now is, she's in the like 16, 18 points a game, which is way up. And then, rebounds wise, she's always over that 10 mark anyway. But yeah, as far as the me bounds, it's like, 2 a game, 2 or 3 a game now instead of what it was. So, I mean, her game is coming along, which is good. So,
do you think that the thing, whatever, if you want to call it a thing, the thing between her and Caitlyn is a made-up thing meant to draw?
It is mostly fabricated. It is something they lean into a little bit. Angel more than Caitlyn. Caitlyn doesn't seem like.
Well, but I have to imagine that that's actually done. Like if I was trying to orchestrate this a little bit, obviously Caitlyn is a white woman.
Yes.
So she's got to be high road all the way. And trust me, I know how that works. You know what I mean? You have to be high road all the way because there's nothing that you're going to be able to say. Everything that you say comes back in a negative way because somebody takes it the wrong way. So you have to do that. That being said, you notice that there isn't been much of that lately at all. They've been actually talking about these players and now that they all deserve more money. Obviously, everybody was wearing the T-shirt, pay us our money type thing or pay us the right amount of money or whatever. Shaquille O'Neal jumped in saying, hey, I did not hear that. I mean, she should be making about $10 million a year. So the harder part about this is that ChatGPT said that this league is going to lose $44 billion over the next 5 years.
So no, that's not accurate. So they have currently this last year they lost 40 something million, right? Mm-hmm. So why they're trying to get their contract put together is because they're about to enter a new TV contract with ESPN worth $2.2 billion or roughly $200 million a year. So this is going to become a profitable league. And so they want to get their profit sharing in line because when you look at the rest of sports, it's generally in that 50% range and they are about 9%. Now, are they going to make what the guys make? No, because they play less games, they play less minutes, all of that. All of that's part of it. But they do have a new TV contract that I don't know why that part of it isn't getting any press. They're just like, oh, this league lost a bunch of money and they want a bunch more money. And it's like, well, no, they're negotiating their next contract in a league that's about to make money. Mm-hmm. So of course you're going to try and negotiate it up. Besides, even if the league was going to continue to lose money, the athlete's fault. That's the people running the league. Like you got to market this thing. You got to actually make it easy to watch. I mean, you got to do some of those things. If an actor plays in a movie and the movie just sucks and bombs, they don't not pay the actor. They're just like, oh, well, I mean, that's too bad. Like, like it's a shell company for the NBA anyway. So,
right.
So I mean, maybe in other places it would work, but $70K a year, you better have a roommate here in Seattle. So, you want them to be a full-time professional athlete. They kind of do need to make a little bit more money. So do I think they should make what the guys make? Again, no, they don't play as long. All of that is true. But do I think they should have a livable wage in the city they live in? I mean, yeah, that would probably be good.
It's $2.2 billion for that league. I mean, is it really worth paying that much money to show them? I mean, if they're not really having that much traction, that's a lot of money. $2.2 billion.
So, but it's over the next 5 years.
11.
10 years.
11. Oh, it's 11.
It's an 11-year contract with ESPN, Prime Video, and NBC.
Okay.
And it's $200 million a year, so that's not really crazy.
No, I didn't realize.
Think about that. How many teams are there?
There's going to be 18 by the time that's done.
Yeah.
So by the time it's done.
Well, because we have 2 more teams coming in. There's 13 right now. There's 2 more teams coming next year, and then over the next 5 years, there's 3 more after that.
So all told, there's going to be 18 at the end of the contract.
Well, about the middle of the contract.
So really, I mean, because ultimately at $20 million or $200 million for 13 teams, that comes out to what, 16 million, 15 million a team?
Roughly.
So, and if they were to get 40%, I mean, I guess they're trying to get 51%. They're trying to do it like the NBA, right? That's what they would want. I assume that's what they're asking for. Pay us like the men. Men get 51% of the profit sharing.
Even if you figure they went to 25% and they're only making a couple $100K each, that's still a significant jump from where they're at.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're saying
Absolutely.
9% right now.
Yeah.
And that's at the loss at 46 million because they have to buy the television rights, is what I am assuming they're doing right now.
I'm not exactly sure how the finances break down. That is sort of a little bit of smoke and mirrors.
Well, it makes me, but that makes sense to me now why they play games at noon and at 2:00 in the afternoon, and they have odd times for games scheduled. Because if you are buying the television time, and the only reason why I even know a little bit about this is because of arm wrestling. When they
Sure.
tried to do the professional arm wrestling league, they had to buy the television time. And it doesn't matter how many sponsors you have to pay money for that time on ESPN or whatever it is that you're buying it on. So ultimately, you start to, like that's a big nut to track because ESPN, if you want that on prime time at like 9:00 at night or 10:00 at night or 8:00 at night, even, that's going to be a few $1 million any day of the week.
Yes.
Because they want prime broadcasting there. That's going to be so. I got to imagine that's the reason why you see some of these games on the History Channel because it's easier to buy time on the History Channel. Like that's what the NBA playoffs does. The lesser known games, playoff games, get played on like these other weirdo stations because it's cheap to buy the airtime and you don't want to invest it. It's also cheap to buy the airtime at noon.
Yep.
In comparison to buying it at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So if you're trying to get,
it's also why you're starting to see things move towards FAST networks, which are free ad-supported TV. That's what FAST stands for. And so those places aren't necessarily having to buy the airtime because the ad content is from the station side instead of you bringing ads with you. So it's cheaper to get in, but you have less opportunity for your own ad-supported stuff.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Pluto hasn't said we will carry every game. Like
exactly.
Pluto TV.
Well, Pluto has the Ion network. I know a large chunk of the WNBA games are on Ion, so Pluto does get.
And Ion is a FAST network, as I recall.
And then same thing with the NWSL, which is the women's soccer league. I think 40 to 50% of their games are on the Ion network as well. So then Pluto gets that cut of that as well.
I mean, we're just a moment away from the WSPN. Which I think could be a real thing. I mean, it's like there's enough collegiate female sports and more. You see more and more softball games, like the professional softball games being played on television and stuff like that. There is enough content to be able to handle that. It becomes program directing to be able to fill up all those spots and stuff like that. And then, it's like, but ultimately there is enough, I think, to be able to do that in a right way.
Yeah.
And I say, like I said, that's the reason why I think that the league itself has not been profitable because they're buying airtime.
Well, and they're doing it. See, the thing is I don't even know if they're necessarily buying the airtime. They just happen to be airing on a lot of streaming services that you have to have subscriptions for. And if it's a product that you're trying to get off the ground, despite the fact that it's been around for 20 years, right? So we're ignoring that. We're treating it like it's a newer league because it's getting more traction. But people aren't going to go subscribe to something they're not also watching other stuff on for something they're not heavily invested in. Now, the fact that the NFL comes out and they're like, yeah, you're going to pay $1,500 to be able to watch all of our stuff. Well, it's established enough that people are like, yeah, I want to see this product. And they'll do it. They'll buy the Peacock subscription for the year to watch all 3 or 4 games that's going to be on it. They're not going to do that for a product they're not used to watching yet. And that's where this deal with ESPN, Amazon, NBC, that's going to be huge for them because these are products that now you have, right? That's part of your basic cable, or it's a free channel or whatever. And so now it's going to be easier to consume the product. That's how you get your viewers up. Then, if you achieve that upper level, whatever, then yeah, maybe you can move some of them to streaming service. But even the NFL has noticed there's less people that watch the ones that are on Peacock and the game that was on Netflix, and and those are
They thought that was going to work, and it's not working the way that they expected it to, and it's actually costing the networks money, and it's not costing the NFL.
No, the NFL's fine.
But the NFL actually gets also revenue from the ads that come in. So not only do they get paid to do that, but they also get a percentage of the ads. Well, if you're not paying a lot of money on the ads because you're not getting the same type of viewership, well, then ultimately it costs the NFL money, supposedly, and then they're like, okay, we're going to put the Jets and the Jaguars there on, whatever, Peacock, because nobody watches them anyways.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, is there stuff on Peacock? There probably is. Do I have a Peacock subscription? I do, because it came free with my TV package. So
Peacock, Peacock has the Tulsa King.
Well, there you go. I haven't watched it yet. I hear good things though.
I tell you, Tulsa King is a great show to watch if you care nothing about how editing works, how television shows should really work. I mean, there's a time where they're actually in a scene, and then they have to cut, because they do retakes, and they already struck the set, and they're in another set, and they do the set, and then they go back to the old set. So it's like they had to do a retake of a portion, and you see a whole new set, and you're like, where the hell did this come from? It's actually in some cases hysterical to watch.
So this is the AV department at a high school.
But it goes to show you that it doesn't matter how the editing goes. If you can hear right and you have a big name who like Sylvester Stallone,
sure,
it does not matter what the set is behind him.
The thing that's funny about that is they probably also care less because they know that the people watching it are actually staring at their phone anyway and didn't even notice that the set changed. They could have been cartoon characters. No one would have even known. They're like, here, let me watch TV while also looking at my phone.
Yeah, I'm like, that irritates me because I'll be like, hey, I'm going to change the channel. No, you're not. I'm watching it. No, you're not. You're watching your phone. Why are you watching this? You're watching your phone.
Listening to
my wife kills me with that every time.
Yeah, you want to switch it over to a rom-com or something. She's watching sports. I get it.
And I think she was watching something, and I switched over to a baseball game, and she didn't look off her phone. I was watching that. No, you weren't. What's on the TV right now? It's baseball. Oh, okay. But still, you're not watching what you were watching. Whatever, man. I'm never going to win that argument, so I just say whatever.
Just do the picture-in-picture. It's fine.
That's not a bad idea. And
yeah, I mean, they need to market better. And I mean, we've talked about this 1,000 times on this show, that their marketing department isn't just isolated to the league either. Each team has their own marketing department, and they all do a terrible job of actually helping get their product out.
Agreed.
Which is why, we get the tinfoil hat action and say, oh, this is just a shell company for the NBA to hide some tax money. But if it is getting enough traction that they're actually going to make some money, the NBA is going to have to figure something out. Or maybe adding the teams will help balance that out and be like, oh, okay, we got to keep this a still net zero so that we can, write some of the crazy money that we make in the actual league.
That's why they get rid of teams that have the best attendance.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if that's one of the reasons maybe why because they never really explained why the Comets left. But we had great attendance. I mean, even at the parades. I mean, they would shut down Houston for the Comet parades. I mean, it was a big thing. And then all of a sudden, after that fourth or fifth year, they were gone. And I never really understood why. So I guess maybe what you're saying, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah. And Scott, this is super common. You walk in any restaurant today, and there's a good percentage of people that are at a table together, not interacting, playing on their phone. That being said, in a big group, I can't say that I haven't sent my wife a text at the table.
Well, that's because you don't want to say what it is.
Yes,
And
that's
usually you guys
exactly
are both
right.
laughing at it.
Yep.
You know, it's like
Yep.
You know what, though? I will
hey,
say
honey,
this.
don't look. Jay's got a snot boogie in his beard.
100%.
Don't look. Don't look.
But also look.
You know what though? But I that is one rule that I do have. That is one of the, I guess, the benefits of having a cell phone, right? Is I say, listen, if you had a problem or something, or you get mad at me or whatever, and we're in a restaurant or whatever, just text me and put a bunch of emojis on there. That way,
It's just middle finger emojis.
You know what I'm saying? That way, it's just
No, you got to do the red face emoji because you can't tell what is this? I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't tell. I don't have my glasses. Red face looks red. Looks angry.
And of course, yeah, there's always that.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, we have some very angry text messages when we go to dinner sometimes.
Yeah, for me, it's usually what Wen is saying. It's usually like a sarcastic thing. Like somebody will say something dumb, and you're like, you'll respond without being an asshole, and
right.
You're like, oh, this is what I would have said, and then you'll get that like pop from the other end of the table that has nothing to do with what's being talked about. You're like, oh, there we go.
Oh, sweet goodness. What a time.
So, but anyways. Yeah, your Mariners pooped the bed yesterday, huh?
Oh yeah.
The Brewers might never lose again. That team is just scalding hot right now.
I mean, I don't know if I can get on board with the first part of that, but they are playing great baseball.
And they got 11 straight wins, which I guess is going to come back to earth immediately, soon.
Well, so the thing with the Brewers that, like right now they have the best pitching in baseball, and it's not even a question. Like they are about 1.5 runs lower than the next closest team when it comes to starting pitching over the last 2 weeks. Offensively, they're not even hitting home runs. It's like the old school baseball, station to station, sacrifice bunts, runners going first and third, like stolen bases. Like they're playing all this old school baseball that people thought doesn't work anymore. Well, clearly it does work because you have the best record in baseball right now at 20 games over 500. But the Brewers have a 9-game winning streak that they had in like late May into June, and now they're on this 11-game win streak. Outside of those 2 win streaks, they're a 40-40 baseball team. So they've really had 2 hot streaks that have gotten them in the first place. And there's been no team in MLB history that has not won the division when they have 2 winning streaks of at least 8 games in the same season. So they can play 500 baseball they can play 500 baseball from here on out, and they're going to win 91, 92 games.
Yeah, but I think that wouldn't be enough to win that division.
Yeah, it's weird. When you play solid baseball, you win games. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Right? Who'd have known?
So, but yeah.
Your Phillies also did something funny on the heels of that Coldplay video. The Fanatic up there recreating it in the stands was hilarious. The amount of memes and stuff for that is unreal.
It is. It's like, I mean, obviously, everybody's poking fun at a man's demise because everybody seems to forgot about the woman in this portion who was also married. You know what I mean? Let's not attack the woman at all in this process. Let's just
only the man.
Only the guy.
It's a more interesting story because he stands to lose $600 million.
Well,
yeah, that's a lot of savage.
I don't think so. Like, he was worth $750 million. You know,
even
And
1.2
this was
billion.
not in California, right?
I don't know. I don't know which state it was in.
So, I mean, California is the only one that says, hey, 50-50. You know,
We're community property here in Washington.
well, thank God you don't live in Washington either. I think this is New York, which is not like that at all. You know, so I mean, I have a feeling that the woman's going to walk away with, some money. She's going to definitely have. She's not going to have a problem finding a date, or at least paying for the
Yeah,
date if she
right.
wants to have one. You know what I
Right.
mean? And like, oh, I'm going to get all this money and stuff like that. Like, she's going to get maybe 20%. She's not going to walk away with $300 million because he doesn't have it like that. He's got it's all in corporations. I can imagine because he's a businessman.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's
Yeah,
worth all of that money,
It'll be
doesn't mean
money
that
and
she gets
assets.
half.
And,
of course,
yeah,
of course.
course.
And truth of the matter is that I would definitely play the high road card at this point. Yeah, listen, you got caught. Hey, you get the house, you get the cars, you got it all. I'll have to figure out how to do it from here on out. And hey, we'll give you $1 million a year just as alimony and child support, and
Yep.
and just call it. Like, hey, listen, I'm going to take care of you the right way because I embarrassed you. End of story.
Yep.
And nobody will ever report that either.
No, of course not.
But
no, I mean this will hit a news cycle for another week and then it'll be gone. Like nobody will even think about it again. But so far the kiss cams making fun of it have been priceless because it's either people reenacting it or I saw one where the guy brought a sign that says "This is my wife."
That was at the Phillies game.
Yeah.
That was also at the Phillies game.
So yeah, no, it was it's been funny, but yeah, I mean it's at the expense of a guy that did something dumb. So
Right.
although it usually is.
The other thing is that they never show. It's always just those two. They never show the girl. Like,
Yes.
they need to do more with that. Like, and her face changes to the devil or whatever, and be like, like I got yous. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
won't give me that raise. Let me show you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what we do is dumb stuff.
Dumb stuff.
But think about that. I mean, again, this goes back. I think about that moment in time,
Sure.
and how it was not an accident. That was orchestrated. Somebody orchestrated that completely. I feel that they knew somebody orchestrated because it takes a lot of money to do that.
Mhm.
And then his response, oh, they must be having an affair, whatever. Like, they knew it was all a plan. Because I look at this as the same way as how do you have a raid on a washy-washy the moment that Kraft is in there?
Yeah.
You don't. That is orchestrated. That's
Yeah, no, you
100%
gotta
orchestrated.
Yeah.
This was 100% orchestrated and brought out. Somebody got paid some money to make that happen, and probably got paid a lot. Like, when I say a lot, like 50 grand to make that occur.
Could be.
Mhm.
That is absolutely not an accident. So,
And yeah, we don't really know.
so the woman in there, she was also married.
Yeah, well, and
she was the second in charge of this company.
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically was like their head of HR type of thing. So yeah, like it's so she was high up within this organization as well. But as far as the fallout, I think that's still those cards are still kind of landing. So
And I thought,
Yeah.
they showed a picture of his wife, and his wife I thought was better looking than she was. I don't know what he was doing with that.
Well, listen, I mean, first you got to have a real job to understand this, and the Navy or Army doesn't count because there's not really pretty women in those spots in when you're working with them. You know what I mean? They're not getting dressed up to go to work. You got to go back to Silence of the Lambs. How do you start this stuff up? You covet. You start to see something every day, and it starts to wear on you. Like, listen, these guys are human beings. This stuff happens all the time. There's a reason why there's a 52% divorce rate in the United States, because marriage is an antiquated system. It doesn't work the way it used to. It's easier to be on your own a little bit. It's like you get into a marriage and that is a business agreement. It's no longer for love, and that's the problem here. So now you've got, and so, yes, he was cheating. I'd be willing to bet he was still paying all the bills because the wife was at home not working. You know what I mean? So that doesn't make what he's doing right. Obviously, it may have been easier to say, hey, listen, honey, I got something else going on.
Yeah, same company.
You're still my number one. You're still my number one. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, listen, it's, the guy who owns Virgin.
Yeah.
Richard Branson.
Yep.
Right? Is he married, or he got married once and then didn't get married? He's not married again because she's on the payroll. You think he's being monogamous all the time? Hell no. She just knows what's going on. She just knows what's going on, and she gets paid very well for that.
I'm sure she does.
So
now I'm wondering,
that's
so
what
the
you gotta
CEO's
do.
wife. Well, do you think the CEO's wife then? Do you think they're going to get divorced, or do you think she just stays in it because, like you said, she's probably a homemaker and getting paid well?
Well, I think that's going to be a decision amongst them. The hardest part about this is that it became so public.
Yeah.
When something becomes as public as this, it becomes a matter of, if she doesn't leave him, it shows something about all women, and that's the wrong thing here. Because the truth of the matter is that there have been much worse situations. Like, hey, I just got outed by Coldplay for the world, in front of the world here. So now she has got to make decisions that are a lot more rash and a lot more everybody else in their ear, because it's such a public setting.
Right.
Like, that's the hard part with this. So it's, like, listen, there are many happily married couples who can live their lives day in and day out, looking at the person that they chose to spend the rest of their life with.
Mm-hmm.
There are many other couples who, they now are waiting for the end of time to hurry up and arrive. Because if I got to spend another minute with you, I think that I can barely survive. You know what I mean? They made music about it.
If you're, if you're a
Shout out to
CEO,
Meatloaf for that. That was definitely a Meatloaf reference.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. Hey, but if you're anybody of a high-ranking stature, right, high money making, whatever the case may be, if you want to get married, but I don't know if I could really be faithful. I'm gonna wander an eye. I got this. Why not just get married and let your wife know? Like, hey, look, I want to marry you, but you got to wonder. Like, why not just get that off the table? Why do you
think that's the whole premise of prenups?
Yeah,
prenups are, listen, it's only going to be a matter of time before I get bored of you and find somebody else.
You know what I'm saying?
When that happens, you get nothing.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you can, honey.
That's the easier way for them to go. Then they got to worry about being caught because you got to open a relationship. Who cares? Do your thing.
So I can't answer that either, none. But I'd be willing to bet. I mean, there's a lot of times. I mean, listen, I'm not speaking on your relationship, but there are a lot of reasons why men will stay with women. In fact, that's why I say it's sometimes easier to cheat than it is to actually be honest.
Sure.
Because the moment you become honest, you take that type of responsibility, well, now it becomes a fight because why aren't I? Why am I not good enough? And the
Sure.
truth of the matter is that I don't go to a butcher to get my tires redone. You know what I mean?
Right.
I go to a mechanic who will do my tires. I don't go to the mechanic to get meat. I go to a butcher for those same reasons. There are different people for for different parts of our lives, and the fact that we have been brought up in a society starting from the 20s on through, because this is actually a fair after the 20s happened. Like that depression, that was when they started to force everybody to try to get married. Get married, have kids, do that. They started to teach it in schools. This is a learned process.
Yep.
This is not something, like when you go back into ancient cultures like this, the Sumerians and like the Aztecs and stuff like that. Most of them did not get married. In fact, most of them sometimes had multiple wives. Because it was, that was just the way it was. Like, hey, hey, I got this wife. She's great at making babies, but she can't cook worth a lick. So I'm going to make this one who's going to make all the food for us all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's part of what happened. That it wasn't done to just because the guy was a gigolo and liked to, yam. No, it was because it was done out of necessity. These are the things that happened in life. And I need somebody for this. I need somebody for this. And then I need somebody. None of those girls know how to work the finances. So I got to marry this one who helps us with the money for everything. You know what I mean? And that was part of the purpose.
Oh, is there a sign up sheet for the sugar mama? Is that what we're doing?
Well, Pig, but what you were saying too, though, kind of like how society views things nowadays, like there are so many things that people view as cheating now. Like how Jay was saying, like you can have a wandering eye. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't. Like if I'm out in public, I'm not just gonna like stare directly in front of me, like wherever I'm sitting. Like I look at people walking around. I look like I'm around in my surroundings.
Here, let me save your marriage real quick by muting that shit.
but I'm just saying though, like if you're just like looking around at like your surroundings in public, and if you're looking around in public and like there's like a decent looking woman that like walks by you and you like just happen to be looking in the direction that she is like standing or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're looking at her like top to bottom. You're just looking in that direction. Someone happens to be there. And yet so many women nowadays are like, why are you staring at her? Why are you looking at her? It's like, I'm not actually looking at her. I'm just kind of looking in that direction, and people are over there.
The fact that you said you have a wandering eye also lets us know that you are not married to an Italian or a Latina woman. Because you would have died years ago.
Oh, hell no. I was married to a Latina woman, and that's just a whole other level of crazy.
It's just a general principle. It's just a general
rule about living with. Now, I can't speak of the Italians, but I can't speak of Latinas very well. Number one, you don't have any metal cutlery. Everything is plastic. Number two, you look straight forward. You don't left. You don't right, and everything is spoken in code.
I don't know who you're lying to. If she has a plastic knife, it's just a prison shiv. Like, you're fine. You're still gonna die.
Hey, Liz, that's the third thing. Make sure you have no metal pans in the house. Yeah. So no metal pans and one eye open, because let me tell you something. That doesn't mean that she can come with a hot bowl of water. Just Latinas, love them. They're beautiful women.
What's wrong with you, man?
No, I'm just saying I love Latina women, but man, I would not be married to one. Not again. That first time was enough.
And I am 100% Italian. I refuse to date Italian women. No chance. No chance. Not, and for many other reasons other than the fact that, hey, listen, mamismo is a real thing for Italians. I was not that guy. I was not one. I loved my mother to death. But my mother was a Gemini and I was a Libra, which really means that she was hard-headed and I was stubborn. And we went at things like this all the time. And every Italian woman I've ever met is more like my mother than they are like me. So the problem is, I would never even date an Italian.
Pags, you're not stubborn. No way. I don't believe that for 1 minute.
Now, my wife is Italian though. So I get front row seats.
They're just very headstrong women, Italians and Hispanic and Latinas. They're very headstrong, and you gotta. Yeah, that's a tough go. When I married the wife, she was just a typical white girl from West Virginia, and
Joe still got the mamismo. Mamismo is a real thing in Italy. A very real thing.
Huh.
You know, Italian men have mamismo. They live with their parents until they're 30-some years old because mom cooks, does the laundry, does it all. And until a wife comes in and takes over that responsibility, mom does it.
Yeah, I've always thought that was weird. Like that is like for me, it was like, I can do it. I'm out. I want to be. Yeah, I mean, most of them can cook, so there is that.
You know what? I learned how to cook from my mom, so I know how to cook real well.
Yep.
Because you know what? I ain't dating an Italian woman. There ain't no chance. I don't care how good she cooks. Only Italian woman. I eat when I go to eat other Italian. I make sure their mom's cooking, because when their mom's cooking, it's great food. It's just like mom used to make. Because they all got the same recipe that they passed around to everybody.
Right.
I mean, it was like, hey, this is the Italian way of doing things. Boof. And all Italian women know it. It's like inherited, like at birth.
It's funny, though, because my family is largely Irish, but my uncle did marry an Italian woman. And, she has a very big family. And so whenever we ever do our family reunions, you had the Irish and you had the Italians. And it literally is like that. It's a group. It's about 20 Italians usually come to our family reunions. And they do make the best damn food, though. I got to tell you that. Their food is freaking amazing. So if you ever want barbecue and Italian food, yeah, our get-togethers that's pretty much what it is, Italian/barbecue.
Well, you know what? The difference between Italian and Irish? Little bit of yellow food coloring. Yeah, that's really all it is. They got the same flag, except one's red, one's orange.
Yeah. Oh man, but and it's funny too, because when you go like my wife, when she's at the family reunion, she's like, Jay, the Italians, they need more cheese. Can you give me some more cheese? Because I'm out of cheese. I'm like, that's how they're referred to as the Italians,
So Joe, the moment that you put pineapple on what would be considered a pizza, it becomes a flatbread. That's all that is. And I don't care.
Really?
If you want to put pineapple on pizza, that's fine. It's not a pizza anymore. It becomes a flatbread. End of story.
Can I ask,
I don't care if they got
why is that the thing?
I don't care if you put ham on it. You can call it whatever you want. It's a Hawaiian flatbread. It ain't pizza anymore.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
I didn't know that. I know that if you put
that's just a me thing. That's something that I said.
No, that's something he made up. Like it.
It's definitely something I made up. It's not a real thing.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. I'm right.
Hey, Scott, you want to come to my house and party anytime?
I eat it the same either way. Whatever you want to call it, I'm still eating that pizza. So
pizza, flatbread, it's going down.
Right? Exactly. That gets us to the top of the hour. Most of us will be back tomorrow. I think Stat Guy might be buried in his yard. But other than that, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Later, guys.